Hello, this is Joe Sonona from Sonona Speaks Seminars, and this is Coffee Talk with the Listing Pros in Real Estate. And my guest this week is Chastin Miles out of Dallas, Texas. Founders Group, Real Estate Group, EXP. How are you, Chastin?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. Welcome to the show. I'm so excited to have you here. You are a TV personality, a YouTube sensation, all that jazz. It's truly an honor to have you here. So,
Thank you.
without further ado, I just want to ask you to tell the audience a little bit about yourself and how you got started in real estate.
Sure thing. Yeah. I like to say that I'm a real estate entrepreneur, but I do have a nationwide real estate team, which is based out of Dallas, Texas. We launched nationwide last year. So that's been quite a fun journey. But throughout my real estate career, I am an author of a book. So I wrote the book, The Real Before the Estate, really popular book in the real estate niche. And it's everything that I wish I knew before I became a real estate agent. So did that book. I am on a few advisory boards. I have some partnerships at other companies outside of real estate. And I mean, I'm just enjoying life these days. I got in real estate back in 2015, and actually, me getting into real estate came from me and some of my buddies. We were walking around our college campus, and we were looking for a rental property because we were ready to move off campus and we just needed more space and everything. And so as we were walking around one day, we saw this sign that was advertising a 4-bedroom house. Ended up calling the phone number on the sign, and the lady invited us into her office to come and meet with her. Turned out it was a real estate office. And so she was taking us through the process of everything. And then I just randomly decided to ask her, I was like, how much is this going to cost us to have you doing this for us? And she told me nothing, that it wasn't going to cost us anything. And immediately my radars went off. I was like, oh, this is a scam. We got to get out of here. But I was still intrigued, and I just started asking her how the process all worked and how she got paid. And she started telling me about real estate and how it worked. Turns out the brokerage that she worked at, they also offered real estate classes. And so I ended up enrolling in those real estate classes, enrolled on a payment plan because keep in mind, I was in college. I didn't really have a lot of money. And, that kind of started my real estate journey. So here we are, fast forward to today. I've been through a lot in my real estate career. As you can probably imagine, I didn't really know what I was getting into besides just calling a number off of a sign, which is how I thought everybody did it. But it's been a fun journey.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And tell me a little bit. I know this is off topic, but how did you know what? Yeah, yeah. Tell everybody this. How did you become such a YouTube sensation?
Really, Joe, it came from frustration. I was frustrated with the business, and I mean, I'm a millennial, so what is my natural thing to do when you're mad or frustrated about something? Get on social media and talk about it. And so, I
What were you
never
frustrated about?
I was frustrated because it seemed like every listing appointment that I was going on, somebody was trying to get a discounted commission. And I was just like, I have no money, and y'all are trying to take the money that I don't even have yet. So I was just really upset about that. And I just decided one day, I was driving in my car, and I decided to make a video talking about how much money real estate agents make. And that was literally I want to tell the world that it's not what y'all think it is. I wasn't thinking anything of it though. This wasn't a calculated, oh, I'm ready to start a YouTube channel and generate business or followers or anything. It was to me almost like just updating a Facebook status. You're not thinking twice about it, or you're not like going deep into it. So that's what I did. I just had my phone, I recorded this video and uploaded it. There was no editing, there was none of that. And that kind of started my YouTube journey because people started commenting and asking more questions and wanting to know about other things. So then I just started recording videos about that stuff. And little did I know that that would turn into a whole enterprise in itself. But that's what started my YouTube journey.
So I'm going to go back to this journey of yours on YouTube because it's very fascinating. This is how I found you, by the way,
Mm.
and then we'll get into more specifics. Right now, this is a listing show, and this is great inspiration for those who want to be listers. So let me ask you a question, Chastin Miles. What's your secret sauce to listing properties?
My secret sauce. What I've found to be really easy these days with listing is simply providing services above and beyond the standard. What I've been seeing a lot, especially in this hot market, for one, the consumers feel like they can do it themselves and everything is fine. So that's one threat against us. But then you have all these agents out there that are trying and competing to get the same listing. And what I found in just like secret shopping and researching and all that kind of stuff is that a lot of these agents aren't really going above and beyond. Like it's kind of sad actually. And so when I step into an appointment and I show them things that I feel like we should all be doing, they're so impressed because nobody else has shown them this. I'm bringing in examples of the materials that we're going to be placing in the property. I'm not just showing a picture of it from some listing presentation template that the agent really doesn't even order or get done. I'm bringing in that professional photographer, so they're not just seeing me with my camera phone. They're seeing a true professional photographer coming in to market and list their home. In addition to that, there are certain things that we do for every single listing, no matter what. Like, you're going to get that staging consultation, you're going to get those professional photos, you're going to get that in-home brochure to actually place in your property. We guarantee an open house every single weekend until your property sells. That's something that a lot of people don't do. Many agents find open houses are an inconvenience, or they say they're just for new agents, but we guarantee one every single weekend. In addition to that, we actually sell your property to agents. So it's not just putting it on MLS, but we're reaching out to the agents and letting them know why this property is great so that they know how to sell the property the same way that I would sell the property. So it's doing those things above and beyond that are very impressive to homeowners.
Do you use any special technology to market your listings?
Sure. So I of course put the listing on all the different real estate websites. I really like using list reports. So that's something that I take the materials from that and actually place them into a binder that we have in the home. And I really like list reports because it shows you like what the attractions are around it, the school ratings, the walkability, all of that good stuff. I really like also using Cloud CMA. So that's something that I use in the listing appointments, but then I also place that information in the in-home binder so that they can see where the market's going. It's kind of one of those things where you're justifying the price of the
Right.
listing, but it's letting them see the comps that we used and full-on pictures of each listing, so that way they can know why we're priced and how this home compares to other homes that have sold or on the market. We of
Right.
course do Facebook ads. We really like the technology in KV Core, so that's a CRM software. So we use a lot of that, and the biggest thing is just driving traffic and awareness to this listing. We're in a hot market right now, so listings are selling very quickly, which is why we do a lot of pre-listing before the home is actually live, and our pre-listing window now is like 24 hours.
Wow,
So
that's
yeah.
great. And
So
you're in a market out in Dallas, so
mhm.
here in New York, there's a lot of great, interesting nuggets that you just dropped for agents. Even in New York, those same techniques. That I'm listening to, and I'm thinking, oh, those work here. Those could work here, because our inventory is if it's priced well, it goes. It goes
Mhm.
rather quickly.
Yep. Whenever we do an open house, we're always going live on Facebook from the open house. So Facebook, Instagram, we're always going live. So you may see the home over and over again. But even with this, we're providing value. So we're not just doing a live. We're just showing the home. We're providing value as we are showing the home. We're just really big into where the buyers are looking. And a lot of the buyers right now are millennial buyers. And so they're looking online, they're looking at videos more than just photos. So, video content, video micro content, long form video, live video is going so much further than just putting up those photos like we've been accustomed to doing.
Do you use short videos or do you use longer videos to illustrate the interior exterior?
Yeah.
What is your audience like? What are your millennials buying? Like what is attracting that listing to them? Is it the short?
It's all of it.
Mm.
It's all of it. So here's our formula. What we'll do is we'll start with the long form video. So let's say that we're doing a live of an open house. We'll do that whole live. It may take 10, 15 minutes or so. Then we'll download that. And then once I download that, then I'll break that up into micro content videos, because we're gonna probably have this listing for a little while, or it's gonna take a little while for it to close escrow and all of that stuff. So we still have a lot of time to market the property for new buyers, or if God forbid the contract falls through, we still have that opportunity to market this listing. So we'll take that long form, break it up into smaller videos. We'll take the audio from the video, break that up into a blog post, Facebook post. So it's really about repurposing a lot. So you're not doing double the work. We're not going out to the property every time we want to shoot a different video.
Oh, that's
We can
great.
also
Good
upload that video.
techniques.
Yep. We can also upload
Very
that
good.
video to YouTube. So yeah.
Let me ask you, what is your advice to a new agent starting off in the business? What advice could you offer to those new agents out there?
Yeah, I would say the biggest piece of advice is to build your network as big as possible. That was something that I struggled with when I first got into the business, because I started my real estate career in a totally different city, than a totally different state than I had my network in. So I didn't know anybody. And what I found
Where'd you
is
start? Where'd you start, Jason?
I started here in Dallas,
Right.
but I started my journey. So that real estate school, that was back in Georgia.
Oh, wow. That's interesting.
Yeah. And so once I got into Dallas, I had to get the Texas license, and then I was off. But keep in mind, Joe, you remember my lack of knowledge as to real estate and all of that. I was thinking it was just signs on posts,
Oh,
but
you were really baptized by fire.
yeah, yeah.
But all your experiences. But this is good stuff because, we both come from humble beginnings. If I told you my story, it's, we both learned the same way. And it was always by, do this. And then, all right, this failed. I got to do this. And then, today's real estate agent, new agent, is being taught by professionals like us, and they're picking up those habits today. So
Yeah.
you're spot on as to what they're not going to have that same experience, or are they going to have that same experience? I don't know yet.
And that's where the importance of the network comes in, because there are so many different things kind of attacking you in this real estate business, like, oh, buy ads, buy this, buy that, this is what's going to get you leads and all that kind of stuff. But what I found is, if you can have that core network of people, whether they're just names and numbers in your phones or email addresses or whatever, you have a market. You have people you can market to. You have people
Right.
that you can get in front of, versus you just dishing out money and hoping that the inbound business is going to come. So there's so much power and money within your network. You just have to build it, and it can be built from nowhere. I did it. It can be built from nowhere. Like every person that comes into your open house, that's an opportunity for someone to be added to your database. Every person that you meet, whether it's at church, in a bar, or wherever, walking down the street, that they can become part of your network if you do it the right way. It doesn't always
Right.
have to be sitting around waiting for a piece of business to fall in your lap.
Do you have any advice for older, seasoned? I hate that word seasoned, but
Yeah.
I still don't have a word for people who are veterans in the business, which is another word I can't stand. But do you have any advice if you could speak to a veteran today and just say to them, here's what I would advise you to do to continue in real estate because you're an old pro and I want to show you something. What would you do? What would you show me?
Yeah, I may be a little old school with this because I feel like everyone would expect me to say hop on social media, start doing videos, or whatever. But really, what I found, the secret sauce to the longevity and just to a thriving business is taking care of your past clients. Taking care of them, keeping in touch, which is something that I do religiously monthly, like mailing a gift to all of my past clients every single month. I
You
have a
do that. Wow,
Yeah.
that's
Oh
interesting.
yeah. Oh yeah. I have a full on gifting plan. Now they're not super expensive gifts, but it's something to stay in front of them. So I do that every single month. Every 60 days, I'm cycling through all of my past clients via the phone. So they're getting a call from me every 60 days, no matter if they purchased 5 years ago. And it was so interesting because one of my clients who I sold her a home, and this had to be maybe 4 years ago or so. She took a picture of her gift that she received this past November and put it on Instagram.
Oh,
And
that's
she
awesome.
had like 7,000 followers or something. And she wrote in there, I'm still receiving things from him, even though I haven't done anything in such and such. So, to me, that was marketing in itself,
Can I
exposure
be
to
nosy? How many gifts do you send out a month? Do you
oh,
send them out every month or do you send them out
yeah.
every quarter?
No, it's every month, and it's a couple hundred. I'll have to ask our office
Wow.
manager.
That's expensive, right? That's expensive but your ROI is probably you get referrals, you get people out there, lead
Yeah,
gen.
I
Yeah.
mean, I have a very much so referral based business, and that's what I'm saying. Like, if you see the importance in that, you won't have to dish the same amount of money out to Facebook and all of these places. Which the gifts, that's part of the marketing budget. So it is what it is, and again, the ROI is great enough to where it makes sense. You know.
Would you say that veteran agents have become a little complacent or they forget, to do stuff like this, little things like this that could really boost up their ROI?
I feel like veteran agents may start to use the excuse that they're too busy or that their business is already solid. When in actuality, I feel like a veteran agent is at an advantage because you have years of clientele and there's money in that. Like, how many people, you know, have you not contacted over the years?
They're 3 feet from gold, aren't they?
Yeah. Like, how many people have you not contacted? Which was,
Yeah.
I built this habit probably 3 years into my business when I had closed maybe around 60 people at that point, and I realized that not one of them had sent me a referral, which which was interesting to me because everything that I had read when I was in real estate school and previous to being in real estate was all of these blog posts, and people were talking about, oh, I get referrals. After your second year, you'll start to get referrals. And I was getting no referrals. And I realized that I was the problem. I wasn't keeping up with people. I wasn't staying in touch. And so very early on, and I say early on compared to today, early on, I decided to adapt these principles,
Yeah.
and really make sure that I follow through with this and just made it a habit. Now I've been doing it for years, and every new client that comes in, they get put in the same pipeline, and it's grown this referral based business bigger than I would have even imagined. But I mean, I feel like veteran agents, you have a huge advantage and opportunity to really make some magical things happen.
A lot of agents don't realize what they have, and they, like I said, they become very complacent in their business model. And let's say, for example, I think it's going on already 2 years that I have a virtual assistant does all my marketing, and it's a small little investment so that I don't have to be distracted by social media. And when somebody told me you got to do more social media, now it frees me up to do something else for my business. And it's great because I've learned something new and I'm investing and my ROI is coming back great, big time for me. And it's awesome. I've learned that. And mailings, and I love your idea on gifts, so I'm going to steal that one.
Yes.
I want to go back to YouTube before I give you the final question of the day, and that is, that's how I met you. And I just wanted to compliment you on those videos because
Thank you.
you put so much, you give so much value, especially to the agent world, the real estate world, that even if the audience, the general audience, looks you up right now and they see all your videos in there, you're giving so much knowledge to everyone. And that's why you're here, by the way, because you're so generous with your time. And I just wanted to thank you for inspiring me. And in full disclosure, Chastin and I have known each other, I think, about a year and a half. I think last time we spoke, I was in Disney, and I was in front of what is that movie? Oh my goodness, Toy Story. The
Okay.
Toy Story guy, the Buzz Lightyear. We were talking on the phone, and I didn't tell you where I was. My kids were in the store, and we were just talking about bringing you to New York as a speaker for new agents. And then, of course, everything went awry, and then pandemic started. But we are going to have you as a speaker at Sonona Speak Seminars. I guarantee you. But you put out content there that is so valuable, and I just want to keep pushing your content. What books have you read lately that you, besides the one you've written, by the way, which books would you recommend to agents all around, real estate agents on the listing? Have you read anything that can inspire new agents and old agents?
Yeah, I have lots of books, and I mean, because currently what I'm reading may not be the most suitable thing for a new agent. Not that it's a bad book, but it's, when you've gotten your business going and everything like that. But the first set of books that I always encourage people to read is this book called The Power of Who.
Yeah,
Okay.
great book.
Yeah, and I love that book because it really dives deep into like the power of the network and people and everyone Of course, the Millionaire Real Estate Agent is a great book as well. I love the book The Compound Effect. So keeping doing those set of actions and adding on top of that. One of my very first books, and this is an old book, but it was one of the very first books that I read, and it really got me in that good mindset. It was called Awaken the Giant Within.
Oh, Tony Robbins. Sure.
Yes.
That was
Yeah.
one of my first books that I ever read. Would you believe that?
Really? Yeah.
I was feeling down and depressed in my first 6 months in real estate, and then somebody recommended that. That's a big fat book, but I read every single page of that book. Yeah. And I said, I'm going to awaken this giant within. Yeah. I said that to myself. Isn't that crazy?
For sure.
What's the name of your book again? I want to plug it.
The Real Before the Estate.
The Real Before the. How does one go about getting that? On Amazon?
Yeah, you can get on Amazon. You can go to my website, chasinjmiles.com. This is what it looks like.
Oh, awesome. I'm glad you got it there. I see it. Yeah, it's all there. And I see it.
It's not a real heavy read, but it'll.
Do you have it on audio yet?
No. No,
Oh, see?
I need to do that, but
Yeah, I would. You know what I would do for my next YouTube video if I were you is start reading some of the chapters.
mm, great
Mm.
idea.
Who needs audio when I can just be
Yeah.
live listening to Chastin Miles all day and being inspired?
Right. Right. Yeah.
Last question
Okay.
deals with the fiduciary duties that we all hold near and dear. And I'll use the acronym old CAR: obedience, loyalty, disclosure, confidentiality, accountability, reasonable care. Which one, if you had to pick one, and I know they're all important, but which one would you, Chastin Miles, pick and why?
Um, read them to me one more time.
Obedience, loyalty, disclosure, confidentiality, accountability, reasonable care.
I think confidentiality, and my reasoning for that is because this is one of the most, well, I don't want to say sensitive processes that people go through. Like when you're working on a real estate transaction, you are working with somebody that you need to know that you can tell anything to. um it can cost you a lot of money getting information to the wrong people, to the wrong person, but a lot of things go on in these real estate transactions. I mean, we have debts, we have divorces, we have money issues, we have just everything, and that's why I like for my people to know who I'm working with is like, hey, not only am I going to live by this and work by this, but you can trust me as a person,
Right.
and what we talk about is between us. My fiduciary duty is to you as the client, but I also feel like I have a fiduciary duty as a friend. And that's something that I hold very near and dear to my heart. And I feel like we need more people like that, but
We
that
do.
would be the one that I would pick. Yeah.
We do. We do. I have to tell you, in full disclosure to our audience, I have to tell the audience that your group, I don't know all of the people on your group, but your mantra, your philosophies, even one of the people in your group that I have friended, who has become a very good friend of mine, who was my first guest on Coffee Talk, believe
Oh,
it or
wow.
not. Yeah, Jacob Maldonado was my first guest. You are my 85th guest
Oh,
on Coffee
wow.
Talk. And I just want you to know, whether it was the first one or the 85th person, your group has continually inspired me and in my business model. And I just want to thank you publicly for doing that. And you could see I'm a big fan of yours already. And I will continue to be a big fan. And I want this audience that's listening to Coffee Talk to be inspired by the things that you do, not only on YouTube, Jacob's Motivational Monday, your style, your even what you just mentioned today about your gift giving, whether it's a small little token or a big token of your gratitude, it's something that your clients are remembering you by, and it's awesome. Keep up your secret sauces in real estate.
Thank you.
I wish you a lot of success, and I can't wait for you to come to New York and really inspire my audiences here and the real estate community here. Any
Awesome.
last minute? Any last minute words? Did I take your breath away? I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. I mean, I appreciate you for having me, and I always look to help any way that I can. I mean, I have a tremendous amount of resources on my website that I just freely give because I just want to help people be better, and that's
And
why
the
I wrote the
website
book.
again is Chastin Miles.
ChastinJMiles.com.
Okay, good,
So
perfect,
add
perfect.
that J in the middle. Yep,
Awesome,
ChastinJMiles.com.
awesome. Well, thank you very much again for being here. I look forward to meeting you in person in the future and keeping up with your content on YouTube as well. This is Sonona Speaks Seminars. This has been a very, very exciting. I believe this airs Valentine's Day weekend. Well, so with a lot of love and admiration for you and your group, I say thank you for being on Coffee Talk with the Listing Pros in Real Estate, Chastin Miles, and have a good day, everybody.
Thank you.